So I wanted to share with you our trip to Mexico for Thanksgiving this year. We are all in the car and we drove, of course, from Tucson, Arizona. Langston was the first one to fall asleep in the car with his French fries and ice. Franklin passed out second, and of course, they were the backseat drivers. This is where we stayed at. If you want to book this on Verbo, that's the condo that we stayed at. It's a little two-bedroom condo that I'll show you in a minute. And we checked in on November 25th and checked out on the 28th. So 3 nights and 4 days. The first night we got in, of course, everybody was hungry when we arrived. So we went out to get some food and drinks and found a great little restaurant to go to and got our bellies full. And then in the morning, we found this little coffee shop. It's called Cafe House with a K, and it's kind of a German little coffee shop restaurant for breakfast. Was recommended to me by one of my hair clients here in Tucson, so we had to check that out. And of course, after breakfast, we went out to the beach, Langston and I. Langston doesn't really remember being to the beach before. I don't think he was at the beach when he was really little, but this is his first time in a while, so he was discovering the water and the ocean, and he did say ocean, which was huge because, as most of you know, he doesn't talk a lot. So it was really great to have him so excited about the water and walking out in it, and he just wanted to get out on the ocean front anytime that he could. So we're always going back out to the water. Even though it wasn't super hot, it was probably 70s, like mid 70s. So it wasn't really hot, and the water was a little bit cool, but he didn't mind, he just loved it. And he did have like some little crackers with him. So he made a bunch of seagull friends because the seagulls would line up on either side of him, hoping to get some of his crackers. There's those guys on that side. There's the other ones over there. They would even just kind of like hover over his head. They always loved to see Langston come out because if he had his crackers or his crackers and cheese, then they were hoping to get some. So it's a little slow-mo video of him out there in the waves. And at first he just wanted to hold my hand and kind of cling on to me as I walked out with him, and then he'd want to come back and then go back out with me. And then before too long, he got brave enough to just go out by himself, and then he just would go out and come back in and repeat, over and over again. So he had just so much fun. It's just so beautiful to see the water, and the condo that we're staying at is right on the beach. So literally you can just walk out to the water, walk down the beach. This is kind of to the left, and then over to the right. In the daytime, probably mid-morning or so on, there are little stands out there where you can get some fresh coconut water, or maybe get, there are people walking around selling bracelets and sunglasses and hats and things like that. So this is down the other side. And yeah, so you can kind of just wander around the beach and stick close to home, close to that condo. We're kind of over here on the left side, like the second building from the left over there from that view. So a really great place to stay. This is one of the little stands on the beach. They will just cut up a coconut for you, and I think it was like 200 pesos or so for a whole coconut. So delicious, so refreshing, lots of electrolytes and hydration in that. Franklin went out in the water with Langston, and by the end of day one, sunset was beautiful, and we got to watch that just kind of from the condo, and kind of sat up on the little rooftop part. And Franklin and Isaiah got some tequila and cigars, and we kind of just sat out there and enjoyed the sunset. So after dark, Langston found this balloon. Actually, Franklin ran down this guy that was selling these balloons outside of the restaurant, because this is just an outdoor spot. So anyway, he ran down the guy and got one for Langston. In the morning, I went to the Mercado, which is kind of like a grocery store, and this is my haul from the grocery store. We did need some soap and some seasonings, and of course, we had the tequila still. And I also stopped by Candy Cakes, which is kind of a donut and breakfast place. Tried that place, got some coffee and donuts for everybody, and a little carrot cake, and looks pretty tasty. So this is the view just out of the kitchen and living room. You can just see, the ocean right from the condo. And this is again Las Gaviotas, number 423. Has really nice bright furniture in here too. It's easy to wipe up because it's just vinyl furniture. And yeah, this is kind of just a little tour of the living room and kitchen area. It's very open. You will notice that I have a broom there. I had to keep sweeping up sand, from everybody coming in and out from being outside. So I was always sweeping and cleaning. But Langston put his little storybots in that vase. He was just enjoying himself. These are also some things that I do recommend bringing, like bug spray, sunscreen, masks. You do need masks at some of the places. Some of the places you do not. After sun, aloe vera gel, just the usual stuff that you usually bring on a trip, a little vacation trip. So Langston scored a little tank top at one of the market shops, and you can walk to the market kind of from the left. You can kind of just like walk down and go to the market to get things, and there's an ATM close by and stuff like that. Here we are out actually getting on a boat to go parasailing. So Franklin, that was one of the things that Franklin wanted to do, and I also wanted to do. Isaiah didn't come along on this particular adventure. And by the way, these are pelicans, but they look like rocks because the pelicans blend in with the rocks really well. But anyway, so here's Franklin going up on the parasail. He failed to get any pictures of me when I was parasailing, but that's okay. Moms are good at taking pictures. Kids are not always thinking of that. But anyway, so here he is going up, and they let that cord out quite a ways for this parasailing boat. Sometimes they don't send you out quite as far, but this day was pretty windy, and they sent us all the way up. So got a good parasailing experience, and Franklin was, of course, wearing his shoes, his sneakers, and so he didn't want to get dipped or dunked in the water. You can kind of choose if you want to get dunked or not. And there are a couple other people on the boat with us that went before Franklin. That's him way up there in the sky. Here's me and Langston watching. And they did get dunked, but actually they just wanted to touch the water. So that's that little speck up there is Franklin. But they actually dunked him in. So he was like, no, I'm good. I don't want to get dunked. And then we found another little coffee shop after the parasailing, and went back to the condo. And this is Franklin and Langston, of course. Bros on the beach, walking back to the condo. Langston had his cheese and popcorn, and I had to guard the bowl because, of course, the seagulls were right there ready to share his snacks, which he really didn't seem to care. He was fine with sharing, so I just didn't want them eating, before him. So I was like, if you're done with it, we can share, but not until you're done. And then we went out for dinner and saw this guy. He was blowing fire, and that was pretty cool. So there's a little guest book in this condo, and nobody had written in it yet, so I took it upon myself to start the first page. So if you do visit this Verbo property, you can add your name and your information, your trip memories and everything next, because there are a whole bunch of blank pages in here just waiting for you and your adventure to Mexico. By the way, we did get stopped by the Mexican police just after we crossed the border, and that was kind of scary. That was could have been eventful, and it wasn't, so thankfully not. But it was easy to cross coming in, and then it there was kind of a line going out, so it took a lot longer to get out than to get in. However, we didn't have any trouble. Either way, we all had our passports. So, yeah, we were good to go. So anyway, if you choose to visit Mexico, then here are, just a few ideas. And we rented a car and had no trouble with that. Got Mexican car insurance. And then also rented the Verbo and didn't have any trouble with that either. You do want to make sure to hit an ATM if you didn't bring enough cash to get some cash out, just so that you always have cash with you, because a lot of the places were cash only. So you either have to have US dollars or pesos. So cheers to traveling. I hope everyone gets a chance to do it in the coming year.